Shalom Israel. First want to start off with giving all the glory and praise to the Most High Yahweh and honor to Yahweh Shai, who the world calls ignorantly Jesus Christ. Just when I was in deep sleep, I felt like I got a message to share with my people. And I usually don't make videos or anything like that, but it was just really bothering me that the word black, why do they want to call us black so much? What is the whole purpose of the idealism of them making sure that everybody else calls us black, we call ourselves black? And I feel like the answer just sprung in front of my face, and it was more or less in the sense of making somebody a human being, a living creature that you would have to have compassion, recognition, empathy, love, and stripping all that away from the living being, the adamant object, to make it inanimate. So what would be the best way to break down a powerful nation of people? And it first starts off psychologically. And so we all know the curses of Deuteronomy. You know, there's no way that Esau could have put us in captivity with us being such a higher dominant species of people. We're the Lord's holy people. Let's turn to like Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Let's just start there where everybody knows that one. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And so, how can you tear down something that has been set so apart, so holy, so high in reverence to the Creator? You would have to have crafty counsel. You'd have to be a very cunning person. And we know that it's easy to oppress a single person. You know, that's what you would consider bullying or whatnot. But how do you convince a whole nation of people that they're meaningless, that they're meant to be destroyed, that they're black because they're void of life, they're void of anything that makes them human? So psychologically, the best way to do that would be to manifest it physically, is to make something living not living, basically. And how do you do that without killing somebody? You strip away any characteristics of a person or a living creature, that would make your natural sense of empathy, affection, consideration completely and actually void. So you give it a title of inanimacy. So if I can call you black and make you call yourself black, make your people call yourselves black, make everybody else in the world call you black, that means you're inanimate. I don't feel anything particular for the color red or the color green. All I do know is that they're not alive, so really they're not on the same equal playing field as me, so I don't have to have consideration as I would with another living person. So let's see, how did that start? I believe that's what, in Psalms 83 and 3. Yeah, and this is one thing that we need to understand as a nation of people is it's easy to destroy something if you don't have to have feelings about it. So if I call you black, that means that now you become something that is inanimate, like a description. So you don't have to be empathetic towards the description. I can discard a black piece of paper or a black rag or, you know, anything in that manner because it's not human. You know, and it only stands for negativity, void, black, demonic, anything that is actually everything that is not wanted. So I wish I had that verse where our people were the despised amongst most undesired. So Black is a synonym to me for undesired. So, excuse me, sorry to take so long for this. But, it, so when you see them hanging us on trees, you wonder, how can another human being look at another human being? Well, actually, they're not humans. How can another living creature look at another human being with such little disregard? It's because they don't associate you as being alive, like an object of life. You're more of a color or a crayon or a candle, something you can put away and destroy and just purchase another, and there's no consequence. So they teach this philosophy that you are meaningless. And it wasn't just one nation. It wasn't just Esau. It was Elam. It was Moab. It was every one of these people that look at us and call us black. The Most High has given us simple and plain descriptions of our people, our forefathers, our foremothers, in every sense, from Judah to Ephraim, and my hair is black, my shirt is black, but my skin stands out very prominently as a bronze. Most of our people aren't the color of laptops, things that you can just discard that don't mean nothing. But our people are very strong. And every person in the Bible, they may have used a description. Like in Job 30:30, my skin is black upon me. Like Songs of Solomon 1:5, I'm black and I'm calming. But these weren't definite titles of person. These were descriptions of characteristics. So they made us become a simple characteristic void of person and nationality. It would feel a lot different if you were killing, if right now, if they were shooting us in the streets and they had to report in the news, another Israelite was shot today, because that humanizes us. But if you say black on black crime, that means inanimate object attacking inanimate object. Why do I care if my mouse falls to the ground? The mouse is inanimate. The ground is inanimate. Nothing important was destroyed, disturbed. So how did this happen? Psalms 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be in no more remembrance. So it takes a very, very, beyond mischievous and evil type of people, not persons, not just one nation, just people, to collectively look at people, the most holy people on the planet. Our people aren't violent people by nature. If you look through history, we only extended kindness as in the laws to show that we're holy. We don't harm people. We live by a certain standard. Don't get me wrong, our people initially went off in some of the books, and Samuel's and Kings, but that's after we mingled with the heathen and learned their customs. But those who stay true to it, we bless those who bless us, and fortunately for us, we curse those who curse us. And at this moment, you try to figure out how is it that they can still throw their knees on our neck like it's nothing. How people can look down on us like it's nothing. How our own people look at us like we're nothing. It's because they've taught us that we're literally inanimate. Nothing. Black is void. It's not anything that's you have to have consideration of life. So when you walk around and say I'm black, that means you're saying you are literally like the equivalent to a bar stool. You have no meaning. I have to have no consideration. So if you have somebody that looks like you and you like, oh, he black, or let's go to Deuteronomy 28. And let's use this one. This is probably a good one to understand. In 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword equals black. Everybody calls us that among all the nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. So it's amazing that we haven't recognized that the Lord knows we're simple. So why do you think he put in Job, I am black? I am in Song of Solomon, I am black. Why in Daniel 1 and 10, when the description of Yahushua, or Revelations, you know, um, the description of Yahushua? Or why can't we see that these are great men of history, and we should be able to say, if they're calling us that, and this Bible that they abused, it's like who wants to get with a woman that has a horrible reputation? So they gave the Bible a horrible reputation, and then expect us to look at it as with desire. That was crafty counsel. Why do you think they made the Messiah appear to be some weak ass white Cesare homosexual bourgeois that we're supposed to look up to and idolize? In every aspect of who I am, I look at that image and I see weakness, and I see the opposite of anything I ever am. So why would I want to bid myself to a marriage with a opposite reflection of who I am? And that's, again, crafty counsel. You know, so there's got to be something bigger for why do they want us to call ourselves black, or brown, or something of not a nation? Because if you throw a box of crayons in the trash can, there's no penalty for that. But you throw a baby in the trash can, you get life. You can go to prison. There's a consequence. So if they strip you away from being alive, it doesn't matter what they do to you. That's why they showed you through history that they'll take your babies and throw them to alligators. They'll kneel on your neck. We'll march around the streets. Will have no effect, because nobody cares about something that is not real. So we can shoot each other and kill each other because it's just another something black. It's not. It doesn't mean nothing. It's not alive. So how do we resolve killing each other, or making ourselves have a presence again? Let's see. We first off should stop calling ourselves black, and letting this psychological warfare continue. You can't look at your brother and say you black, because now what have you done? You've taken away a reason to have any compassion. Anything like Leviticus 19 and 17? Was that the one? Yeah, work with me, people. Work with me, Israel. Sorry, it just came up on me. Yeah, Leviticus 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not, and 18, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. So do you ever love the color copper? No. So they made us, as a whole, call ourselves inanimate beings. Just think about the grass for a second. If you literally just stopped calling yourself black, people would probably feel guilty for what they do to you, because you correct them and let them know, I'm an Israelite. Me personally, I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. I'm a Jew. When I go to work, I go and they know, Tony, he is a Jew. I let my light shine. And with that, you know, I keep the commandments. I show not that I have a title without, what is it in James, showing me your faith without works. Let me just get to that real quick. Yeah. Even, even so, not just like, oh, I believe I'm an Israelite. I actually know I am, and there's a requirements. So let me hold James 2:17. Let me get our requirements, since we do know that we're Israelites, and if you don't know, you know, you'll find out that you are, because if you meet these requirements that you call yourself black, nigga, Jamaican, Puerto Ricano, or Dominican, or whatever it may be. That goes back to Deuteronomy 28 and 37, I believe. You're a byword. Why are you calling yourself something that ain't real? Like Port of Riches, that ain't a being of people. That's a place. You have no substantiality. Like there's nothing important about you there. You know, and since probably understanding that you are Israel, there's requirements. So Deuteronomy 10 and 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. That's Deuteronomy 10 and 12, verse 12 and verse 13. So you can't really get a good understanding of how to exit these curses if you don't do what is required. And the way to get from people calling you black and is Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And if it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, means listen to him, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. It's literally that simple. There's no nation of black, man. It's an astonishment. That's why Deuteronomy 28 and 28. It's an astonishment, man, that our people, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. That it's mad to call yourself black. That means that you want somebody to step on you, shoot you, kill you, and feel nothing. Call you, sell you drugs, do whatever they want to you because you're inanimate. That's the point. Black equals inanimate. Tell yourself, if I relate to being black, that means if you black and you proud, that means you ain't shit and you happy about it. They had dealt with a lot of our people that are Israel that are in Israel. They look like you, but they're getting the bag. So why do I need to encourage my people if we all have the mentality in this day and age? Do your own thing, player. Like, do your own. You don't, to each their own. Like, don't judge this other person. As long as you getting and you eating for yours, that's all that matters. That's why we take from each other to eat for ourselves, because they've taught us to do everything contrary to just the simple commandments that we need to do to thrive as a nation. They want you to worship yourself or them and not your true self. They want you to worship the image they gave you of yourself, which is worship that you worthless. That's why I love my people, man. But the young man, even the older, this goes from young to old to age. Y'all looking bad out here. Looking this thug, like you sell drugs, you doped up, like you popping every pill. You look desperate. Like you trying to hide how inanimate you are. The sisters out here taking off everything so you don't really have to see them. Like, look at it, really find a sister, just look at her in the eyes. And just take 2 seconds, don't even say nothing. Just look at her with sincerity. You'll see that she ain't really got no, like, her appearance is gonna come off like, man, look how sexy I am. Look at my body. And some of them do it to the point where they don't even leave, a chance to even imagine what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even what kind of girl she is. Like, off the top, she letting you know she'll get down with you and get busy. And then it's a dominant thing. Like, they proud of it. Like, they got these stripes on their chest for being so desperate. But it's like, it's not even a stab. It's a sad thing because you really look at them. You look at all of us, every one of us. You can have a better job than this dude. You can have a but look at us in the eyes. Stop. We all are sad, bro. We all look like, that moment that you tell somebody something sincere and they about to cry, but they just holding it in. Like, you ain't trying to let your emotions go, get shown. That's why we turn up. That's why we put all this attention onto our bodies or what we can get or how lit we are. Like, and they made you so simplified that you don't realize you count your people as nothing because you look at them as an inanimate color. You don't even have empathy for killing your own people or sleeping with your homegirl's dude. Well, no, your homeboy is sleeping with your wife or just different things like that because y'all don't mean nothing to nobody. Because who naturally has empathy for colors in the crayon box? Who gets sad when the green run out? Who gets sad when the black crayon break? Actually, you like, man, shit, I don't use that shit anyways. Who wants to use? It's a pencil, right? Like, I want to use black. I write with it. You know, when are we gonna come out of this perplexities that it's an astonishment? And then they look at us and they mock us. You got like no disrespect to anybody, but think about this for a second. We're the most soulful. We come up with everything that is catchy. We change the waves of the world countless times. Every time it changes based off what we do. But then you got the other nations crowning themselves the king of our flavor and giving us titles of greatness under them. How are you gonna be in a genre? It's like basically, how are you gonna say you a man, right? You get a transgender exercise. You go through the whole change, and then you get the reward of being the first real woman ever. But you a man. It's like the other nations, like you the best hip hop artist, but y'all made it. But I did a couple good albums, and I was the new guy. But now I'm giving you the titles because I'm the best in your shit. And it's like we man, have you ever seen them old satire videos when like, hey boss, you know what I would do it? I shine your shoes, boss. Like, that's how we still are. Like, you get a little bag, you over here running money up and down your arm, doing the money challenge. You cooning out because you getting a little bit of dollars, thinking like nobody in the world, none of your other people, like just nobody else got no money. That's desperation, man. And the thing is when you see something desperate, that's what makes animals like. That's called fear. When you desperate, you're fearful. And that means you fear this world. You fear the God of this world. You fear Satan. So you gonna bow down to Satan. You know. I fear the Most High. That's it. That's a commandment. To fear thy Lord. The Exodus 20 and what? Let's go there. You know. Y'all should have no other gods before him. Like, to fear the Lord thy God. Where is that? Fear the Lord. Anyways, y'all know exactly what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm trying my best. I study up as much as I can, but it is in. Let me put this out there from the beginning to the end, from Genesis to Revelations. It's about Israelite, man. Don't let no man deceive you. This book isn't about anybody else. If you look like me, you know the 12 tribes. There's no 13 gates. There's no salvation for everybody. But if I did some really horrible things and knew that one day I was gonna have to pay for that, I don't want to pay for that. I want to get an excuse. I want an excuse to get out of that permission. I need a doctor's note. So they don't want the Revelations 13 and 10. They don't want that. But let's read that for them, because this is what they got coming to them. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So that means physically, they put us in yokes of iron. Spiritually, they made us serve them. They changed the pictures of God, and Job. They made us worship ourselves because they gave us a phone with Instagram. Now you got become your own idol. They've enslaved your mind to these idols. And then mostly they put you in captivity because they call you black, something that is meaningless. People kill us because you're supposed to destroy evil, get black and evil out of the world. They call themselves black, so it's true. But if you call yourself an Israelite, call yourself a Judite, call yourself a Benjamite, somebody has a consequence now because they've taken a life. And not only any life, a life that is the apple of the Lord's eye. And he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. So I'll be trying to escape my judgment too. I realize you're not just a crayon. You're a person. Now I have a consequence. And here's the patience and the faith of the saints. I don't know how many more memorials y'all want to see. Like 1 Peter 2:9. But ye are a chosen generation. Our generation's chosen. Our older generations, that's why we like this, man. Our older heads, they were the ones saying, it's alright now. The white man let us in the circle. Like they could still treat us bad, but they letting us do what they do, so don't nobody tip the boat over. We made it, y'all. We can drink on the same water fountains they can now too. They look at us like we like them, but they stepping on you. Man, we got to do something because we almost there, y'all. They almost think we like them. Let's bleach our hair blonde. Let's kill us. Let's treat ourselves like they treat us, like we ain't nothing. But we are a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises on him who hath called you out of the darkness into the marvelous light. So you need to give all that back. You don't want what Esau gave you, Elam gave you. You want to be able to shine because you return back to these commandments. And with that, I'll just say, let me just give one law. Let's see what we got back here. Yeah, Proverbs 20. I'll leave you with this. Proverbs 21 and 22. How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in the scorning, and fools, and in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. So turn you at my reproof, and behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you, and I will make known my words unto you. You can only do that by returning to the commandments. So, shalom.